Today, we're diving deep into one of the most disturbing health scandals in recent years, the mass lead poisoning of children at Peixin Kindergarten in Tianshui, Gansu Province. While official reports have provided a narrative, the public remains unconvinced. Numerous inconsistencies, suppressed details, and past precedents suggest that what we're being told may only be part of the truth. Part 1. The official story and public doubts. On July 9th, the local joint investigation team issued a report. It stated that the kitchen staff at Peixin Kindergarten had purchased color pigments online and used them in food products like corn sausages and 3-color date cakes, which led to lead poisoning among the children. According to this report, the staff diluted the pigment and unknowingly exposed the children to toxic levels of lead. Yet, almost immediately, netizens began to raise questions. First, industrial-grade color pigments are more expensive than food-grade coloring. If the staff's intention was to cut costs, wouldn't they have chosen the cheaper, food-safe option? The motive doesn't align with the economics. Second, tests revealed that not only the children but also several teachers at the kindergarten showed extremely high blood lead levels, some between 400 and 500 micrograms per liter. If the staff knowingly used toxic substances, wouldn't they have avoided eating the contaminated food themselves? This brings us to a central question. Is the narrative about kitchen negligence too simplistic? Could the poisoning have a deeper, more systemic origin? Part 2. The industrial angle and environmental context. Some citizens discovered that only 2 to 3 kilometers away from Peixin Kindergarten, there is a lead zinc ore transfer station. This station processes raw ore from nearby mines and stores it before transporting it elsewhere. The possibility that heavy metal contamination from this station entered the local environment through water, soil, or air cannot be ruled out. This isn't without precedent. Over a decade ago, in the same Meiji district, there was a similar case where surface water became contaminated due to a lead zinc plant. Local children experienced stomach pain and diarrhea. At that time, initial tests by local hospitals claimed there was no problem. Only when parents took their children to Xi'an were the elevated lead levels revealed. This pattern mirrors what's happening now. Once again, the local government's early response was vague. The first official statement had only 3 sentences. Later statements lacked critical detail. What pigment was used, how much, when it was purchased? This opaqueness only fueled public skepticism. Part 3. Analyzing the pattern of pollution. Lead poisoning from industrial pollution typically follows a gradient. The closer to the source, the more severe the contamination. But this case shows a highly localized cluster. Almost all affected children are from Peixin Kindergarten. Nearby Weibai Kindergarten, only 1 kilometer away, shows no abnormalities. In another case, one parent tested 2 of their children, one who attended Peixin and one who didn't. Only the child attending Peixin had elevated lead levels. Adults in the same household tested normal. This kind of data strongly suggests that the lead exposure happened within the kindergarten itself. Further reinforcing this, the blood lead levels among the children are shockingly high. Some exceeded 500 micrograms per liter. For comparison, even factory workers without protection rarely exceed 400. Administrative staff in lead facilities typically stay under 100. For children to exceed these numbers, a short-term ingestion of highly concentrated lead-containing material is the only plausible explanation. Part 4. The arrests and government timing guide. People from the kindergarten, including the principal and kitchen staff, have been arrested and charged with producing toxic and harmful food. Notably, no action has been taken against the lead zinc ore station. If that station were the source, it too would fall under criminal liability. Arresting only kindergarten staff suggests that authorities have found strong evidence pointing to internal food contamination. However, this leads to another disturbing question. When did the government first become aware of the issue? The official report claims that the local Market Supervision Bureau received a tip-off at 1852 on July 1st. Yet, by July 2nd, hundreds of samples had already been collected from 4 kindergartens, including Peixin, and set for testing. 6 provincial experts were also dispatched immediately. This timeline is suspiciously efficient for a case supposedly discovered less than 24 hours earlier. Realistically, planning, organizing blood collection, coordinating with provincial authorities, and analyzing hundreds of samples would take a week or more. Therefore, it's logical to infer that the government knew about this issue at least a week, possibly 2, before July 1st. Part 5. The pigment and the platform problem. Here's the most explosive finding. Food safety expert Xi'an Jiefei analyzed the case and believes the kitchen staff unknowingly purchased a pigment called lemon chrome yellow, a lead chromate compound with 50% lead content. This pigment also contains hexavalent chromium, a highly carcinogenic substance. Online platforms like Pinduoduo don't distinguish between food-grade and industrial-grade products during search. So, a kitchen worker with no scientific training might easily confuse the two. Industrial lemon chrome yellow is dirt cheap, only 8 RMB per kilo, making it an appealing but disastrous choice. Xi'an replicated the cooking process using lemon chrome yellow and achieved the same lead concentrations found in the children's food samples. This pigment leaves no taste or smell, making detection by consumers impossible. The Xinhua news agency video even shows food in unlabeled bottles, suggesting someone repackaged industrial pigment without adequate warnings. And here lies a systemic failure. The e-commerce platform bears responsibility for not differentiating industrial toxins from edible substances. Part 6. Chromium. The hidden danger. Government report never once mentions chromium. If lemon chrome yellow was used, children may not only suffer from lead poisoning but chromium poisoning as well. Chromium, particularly the hexavalent form, causes severe long-term health effects including cancer. Medical experts privately advised parents to test for chromium levels, yet no official recommendation has been made. In all likelihood, chromium detoxification may already be occurring during lead treatment, but without proper documentation, critical evidence is lost. Part 7. The testing discrepancy. Another glaring inconsistency is in blood test results. In Tianshui, most parents were only told results verbally. No written reports were provided. Many were told their child's levels were slightly high and not to worry. Distrustful, parents took their children to Xi'an, where results often showed blood lead levels several times higher than those reported in Tianshui. Experts at Xi'an Central Hospital use WHO recommended testing via fingertip pricks. Tianshui likely used less accurate methods or intentionally understated the results. Moreover, some Xi'an doctors were allegedly pressured to downplay findings after government officials arrived. This only deepens the suspicion of a cover-up. Part 8. Systemic negligence and regulatory failures. At the heart of this tragedy lies systemic negligence. The kitchen staff may have been ignorant, but they weren't the only ones at fault. E-commerce platforms allowed industrial-grade chemicals to be sold without safeguards. There's no mandatory qualification review for toxic products. The government failed to act swiftly despite early signs. Worse, this isn't an isolated case. In April, Shaanxi authorities recalled a tofu product containing illegal lemon yellow dye. There's a pattern of industrial dyes being misused in food production. Final thoughts. What needs to change? This is not just a case of individual negligence, it's a multi-layered failure of regulation, platform oversight, public health systems, and crisis communication. E-commerce platforms must clearly label industrial and food-safe products separately. Government agencies must release full and timely data in public health crises. Parents must demand full-spectrum testing, including for chromium. Healthcare facilities should issue transparent, standardized test reports to all. Most importantly, if hundreds of children being poisoned cannot lead to systemic change, then we've missed the chance to learn from tragedy. Let this incident be the last of its kind, not just another case buried under partial truths and vague reports. The children of Peixin Kindergarten deserve more than just treatment. They deserve truth, justice, and change. Thank you.